On my quest to achieve every Sonic Platinum across all the games that have achievements, I'm gonna get the Sonic Superstars Platinum Trophy in this video. The Platinum has 38 achievements I need to get, 11 of which are for completing each zone, and the story goes as followed. Eggman is back in town and he's doing some evil things with the help of his new employees Fang and Trip. So obviously we need to stop him with the help of the Chaos Emeralds. Wow, what an original idea, Sega. The game starts in the first zone, Bridge Island, where I get accustomed to the controls. This island is totally not a Green Hill clone. Anyhow, as I speed through the stage, I come across the blue Chaos Emerald, which is the most overpowered emerald. It is also known as the Avatar, and unlocking this broken power will award me the first trophy for being charged. After that, I would be teleported into a bonus stage where I would need to collect 100 medals for a trophy later. However, for now, getting through the first one will give me the trophy. At the end of each act, a boss will appear, and I, the player, can use my phantoms to obliterate the egg robot's chance of retirement. Completing the first zone, which takes about 2 minutes, will earn the player the first zone completion trophy out of the 11 total. In the next zone, which is a jungle full of speed, I would receive the next emerald power, Bullet. This bullet would enable Sonic to turn into an asteroid and disobey all laws of physics. After that, I just had to defeat another robot with its arms, similar to the robot in the Incredibles movie. I didn't find much in the third zone, Sky Temple, and unfortunately I failed to get the purple gem, meaning no trophy. But that's not important right now. The real challenge was the boss, and it was terrible. It was difficult to do the platforming when Sonic just decides to keep flying off the stage, making him the worst character to play as in his own game. After a few attempts, I did finally defeat the boss, and I was relieved from this torture. But unfortunately, it gets a lot worse later on. I decided to reload the level and try again to get the purple emerald. This time I was successful and received the trophy for my efforts. However, I never actually used this emerald after obtaining it, so it was pretty much useless. At the Carnival, I preferred using Tails over Sonic. Tails was way better than Sonic, and his ability to fly made it easier to collect the emeralds. With Tails, I could easily reach the portal and get the next emerald, the ability to become water. This made underwater segments easy as I could swim without needing to come up for air. During the boss fight against Eggman, Tails' flying ability helped me hit him when he was usually out of reach. With Tails by my side, I easily defeated Eggman's clown jester Carnival. I found Tails to be quite useful while dealing with the boss of Lagoon City, which so happens to be my favorite zone in the entire game due to its fun atmosphere and levels. The boss was some sort of robotic squid or octopus, and while it was easy enough to beat, it would be useful later on for some grindy trophies. In the second act, I used my new emerald power to swim through a portal and obtained a newer emerald power called Ivy, which allows me to summon a platform and make traversing easier. However, I didn't use it that much, but at the end of the stage, I accidentally stumbled upon a hidden power-up box, which was a pleasant surprise. I made my way to the Sand Sanctuary, using Tails' OP flying ability to search for yet another emerald portal. Inside, I found the slowing ability, which proved to be very useful during the rest of the game. It comes in handy when there are many enemies on screen, or when a boss is about to hit you with a powerful attack. You can use it to get to a safer position and survive. After some more snake bouncing and traversing through the sandy terrain, I reached the boss. The only thing it does is send minions after you and destroy platforms. Despite a few unlucky attempts, I finally found a good position to defeat the boss and eradicate him from existence, finishing off the Sandy Sanctuary. I completed the Press Factory Zone without much difficulty. Although I couldn't find any emerald portals, I managed to defeat the boss with the help of Tails and the emerald powers, mainly the Avatar one. As a result, I earned the trophy for completing the Press Factory. Before proceeding, I returned to Bridge Island to collect 2 miscellaneous trophies. One was for completing a bonus stage called a Fruit Stage, which rewarded me with the Fruit Frontier trophy upon completion. The second trophy required me to collect 200 or more rings in a single stage, so I simply loaded up the first stage and replayed it while carrying over 300 rings. These acts gave me the 2 trophies I needed. Golden Capital Zone was almost my favorite except for one thing, one of the toughest boss fights. Fang's boss fight was indescribably challenging for seemingly no reason. After navigating through some blind turns, I managed to use my invincibility frames to get the last hit. Once Fang was defeated, he blamed Trip for his actions. Trip had finally had enough of his cruelty and turned into a dragon using the Chaos Emeralds. Fang tried to use a robot, but it was obliterated by Trip's dragon form. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up the events of Golden Capital. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any Emerald Portal, so I only received the one trophy for completing the zone. I was able to obtain the last Chaos Emerald known as Extra in the Cyber Station Zone. This emerald grants special abilities to each character, but most importantly, it was what I needed to transform into Super Tails. Using the super form for the first time will earn me the supercharged achievement. After using the super form to easily defeat the next boss, I completed the Cyber Zone. From this point on, I could complete every zone speedily. I even earned 3 trophies for completing the Emerald set and finishing Cyber Station. The Frozen Plain level is quite challenging due to its difficult platforming. The boss is not too hard, but if you lose momentum, you're in trouble. It's also harder without Super Tails, which requires 50 rings. Nonetheless, after defeating the preposterous pterodactyl boss, I could move on to space in my big ship, because it's compensating for something. In the escape mission, I had to complete the level without getting hit. This was supposed to be very difficult, but being the god tier gamer I am, I completed the challenge on my first attempt. These achievements in the Frozen Plain level earned me 2 trophies. Before entering the final zone, I decided to collect some miscellaneous trophies. The first ones require me to get 100 kills using each character's unique trait. For Sonic, it was the drop dash, for Amy, it was her Pico Hammer, for Tails, it was his butt copter, and for Knuckles, it was his gliding ability. Defeating the enemies with these traits enabled me to obtain 4 trophies. The final zone was the Death Egg, or should I say, Death Star. Disney's on to you, Sega. Although it isn't too challenging, it goes in reverse, which was an interesting surprise. Nonetheless, we now need to face the final boss. As Tails, I thought this fight would be easy, but I was humbled again and again. So in an act of desperation, I phoned a friend, and politely kidnapped them into playing the game with me until we defeated the boss. Since I was playing as Tails the entire time, you would think he was Knuckles, but you are mistaken. Before I could pick my character, he snatched Tails away from me, so I was forced to play as the Brute this time. Anyway, after an hour and a half of attempts, I remembered to use the Chaos Emerald's power, and the bullet was all I needed to swoop in and snipe that kill, defeating Eggman for only 1 trophy. Yes, good job! Yeah. Finally, goddamn. Now, with the boss defeated, I went ahead to get some more miscellaneous trophies. I didn't actually record them, so I'll just tell you what happened instead. The first one I got was for collecting 100 medals in the bonus stage, which was easy enough and totally didn't make me go insane at all. I then had to collect 600 or more rings in a fruit act, which took some practice to pull off, but was ultimately easy. The third trophy was for finishing a stage with a friend, which I thought the final boss would count, but it didn't, so we just played a regular stage together. I then committed many mass murders on 1,000 defective robots. I then had to replay every act to find each unique golden animal, which was a nightmare, as each animal required you to find it and then defeat the remaining level without dying. So the level which had Fang's boss fight and the final stage were a complete nuisance. But when you kill a boss once, it's easier the next time around. So after about an hour, the trophy was done. What I did like though was in Sonic Forces, the Ring King trophy had you collecting 100,000 rings, whereas this game only needs you to collect a total of 10,000 rings, which was a lot easier on the mental mind. I then had to eat some more fruit in Lagoon City to become healthy, as everyone knows that's how that works. This puts me at 35 out of the 38 trophies. And before I forget, when you beat the game, you unlock Trip as a playable character. The story in Trip's game is identical to the original one, but it's only harder. During the main playthrough with Trip, I was able to achieve her 100 kill trophy using her double jump. However, to obtain the final trophy of Trip's story, I need to defeat the final boss, who is not Eggman, but rather her former partner Fang, using a bigger robot of himself. He must be compensating for something. I was told that this fight would be an absolute nightmare to complete, but in reality, it was challenging, I won't lie. But it only took me 3 attempts to defeat him. and I only died because I was learning the attack methods. After that interesting addition, which was relatively easy, I'm left with one final trophy to rule them all. To complete my journey, it seems like I'm gonna have to go all out. As Supersonic, I must protect my land from a dragon who's been terrorizing the neighborhood. I have no idea who this dragon is or why it's here, but with the help of my friends who give me rings, my trusted power, and a unique battle gimmick, I should be able to defeat this dragon and claim its head for my collection. Once the dragon is defeated and sealed away, I can finish the game and earn the final trophy, also known as the Platinum Victory Fanfare, for defeating the true final boss. I have just finished playing Sonic Superstars, which brings my total number of Platinum Sonic games to 3. However, my journey is not yet over, as I still have a few more Sonic games to Platinum. But for now, I want to thank you personally for watching my video. I would also appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe. Moreover, if you would like to see more of my Platinum videos, I would recommend watching my Henry Stickmin and Bendy and the Dark Revival Platinum, which I will display on the screen now.